old situation that has rehashed seemingly. All right. You guys know that Quavo of the Migos was once friends with your man's Chris Brown, all right? The second coming of Michael Jackson. I find that to be blasphemous, all right? I just said it because that's what people are saying out there. But do I believe in it? No, I do not believe in it, all right? But nonetheless, Quavo has been seen online. Quavo and Chris Brown are off in Paris, all right? They're in France, all right? So Quavo and Chris Brown are seen sitting together at a fashion event. Now, last time we checked, Quavo and Chris Brown do not get along. Ever since this situation where Quavo was seen with Karrueche, all right, and keep in mind, prior to that, Quavo and the Migos were apparently friends, all right, and obviously that didn't sit well with Chris Brown. So now you have fast forward. They're at Paris. They're in Paris. You know, everybody's out there. The Paris, everybody's out there for the fashion week, okay? Now, you guys seeing somebody had the genius. Somebody was diabolical. And they were able to put Chris Brown next to Quavo. Now, they're sitting. They're damn near rubbing. They're rubbing knees together. Their knees are seen touching almost, all right? It appeared to be touching from our angle. Nonetheless, they're sitting directly next to each other. Now, this went unhitched. No altercation took place at all. But everybody was left speculative. Everybody was speculating. Everybody was wondering, why is Chris Brown sitting next to Quavo? Did they squash their beef? Were they able to resolve this? Well, according to Chris Brown, this is not resolved as of yet. Chris Brown is not rocking with Quavo, all right? He said this is not no friendship, all right? This is business. He ain't gonna let this situation mess up the business, all right? How he eats. And I'm paraphrasing right now. You guys get a chance. You guys can actually see Chris Brown. You can see what Chris Brown said on what's the name? Quote for quote. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up on the gram. And let me see if I can check it out. I want to quote exactly what Chris Brown actually said. But like I said, Chris Brown was seen sitting next to Quavo. Now, this is an ongoing thing. For one, I'm disappointed actually in Chris Brown. I don't think it's so much on Quavo part because Quavo has yet to respond to this whole situation, right? But nonetheless, Chris Brown did respond. He said that he definitely said that he's not friends with him. This is not a friendship thing. All right, it's about business. But I'm concerned about this whole Quavo and Chris Brown issue. For one, this is about a woman, gentlemen. Chris Brown, Quavo, I'm disappointed in both you guys. All right, this is about Karrueche. Karrueche has moved on with her life. This is what happens when men beef about women. This is what happens when friends let women come between them, okay? We as men, we've all damn near experienced this, all right? Or probably are still currently going through it. I'm probably sure might go through it in the future. But we as men, we have to be aware of these type of things. Gentlemen, when we're going through it, right? And we have friends, and we presume these friends are presumably great friends, right? Good friends are hard to find. Let's just make this clear. Now, when we let women get between us, this is always my problem. When men let women get between them, these women continue on with their life. Shout out to the ladies, all right? But when men let women get between their friendship, these women continue to move on with their life. A lot of times when you see men let women get between their friendship and these niggas was once friends and they're no longer friends, sometimes it ends up to being altercation takes place, right? Luckily, by the blessings, by the grace of Most High, there's no altercation that took place between Quavo and Chris Brown. We're speaking about Quavo and Chris Brown at the Paris Fashion Week sitting next to each other, but they're not friends. Why they're not friends? Because they was at one point at odds about Karrueche, whatever her name is. All right, you remember this one. This was Chris Brown, the little Oriental, black Oriental chick. All right, Karrueche, that's her name. All right, you guys know Chris Brown, he's zany about these girls. Chris is zany about the women, all right? And it seems like Chris still got something on his heart. He still got that chip on his shoulder for Quavo. But I'm proud of him because he didn't let that result into messing up his money. He was able to sit next to Quavo at the Fashion Week with no altercation taking place. So shout out to Chris Brown. But I'm still disappointed in Chris Brown. I'm disappointed in Quavo. First of all, you guys, keep in mind, Karrueche's moved on with her life. Karrueche is sitting next to another man right now enjoying her life. None of you gentlemen are no longer in her life, I presume. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see nothing. I don't see no pictures online of Chris Brown with Karrueche, nor do I see Quavo with Karrueche, all right? And obviously these gentlemen have had relationships after that fact. But what we're speaking about is how men end friendships behind women that they're no longer with. Gentlemen, we gotta do something. We gotta do better. We have to do better, gentlemen. We have to do better. I highly recommend that Chris Brown let that go. Because I think Quavo let it go. Now, maybe he didn't. But if he didn't, I think Quavo needs to let this go too. I ain't saying you guys got to be the best of friends, but at least to the public, you guys should seem like you guys are friends. Obviously, you guys are able to be cordial, right? But try to rekindle that friendship, at least to the degree where you guys are able to speak to each other. And who knows, maybe you guys will be able to work again with each other, all right? But I don't like to see Quavo and Chris Brown beefing, knowing that that woman, Karrueche, that they were beefing about, she's moved on with her life. She's with another man. And you guys are still not friends. It makes no sense. We as men, we got to be careful with that. All right? We definitely have to be careful with that. If you're not married to her, if you wasn't married to her, remember, there's a term. She's not yours. It's only your turn. Now, I'm not saying that a friend should be dating another friend's girl, right? Obviously, that might be dastardly, it might be low underhanded, right? But at the same time now, let's not beef over a woman that you guys are currently both not with this woman no more. So I don't see no reason for you guys to be beefing over Karrueche, all right? She's moved on with her life at this point. Nonetheless, let's try to get this together. I'm very disappointed that Chris Brown even said that because Chris Brown made it known that he's not friends with Quavo. All right, and this is Quavo with takeoff passing away and all these chain of events after, and he's still carrying on with this. Chris Brown don't let go no grudge. Chris ain't easy, you know. Chris Brown ain't easy. He don't let go grudges easy. Apparently, Chris Brown does not let go grudges easily. All right, it's like once you're on Chris's bad side, you stay on that bad side. Unfortunately, all right. And I feel like you guys, I feel like if they were friends, there's more to be gained by being friends than actually not being friends, obviously. Now, listen, let me read this comment section, what Bizzle got to say. The organizers of the show put those men to sit next to each other, going to get a story that was slimy. Props to the brothers for keeping it cordially. Facts, though. Yeah. The promoters of that Fashion Week event, they knew what maybe they didn't know, because I'm not going to say they did. I ain't going to say that they did know. But if they did, that's diabolical. It's diabolical to put Chris Brown next to Quavo. But same time, the reason why I say they probably didn't do that, because that could have resulted in an altercation. And that altercation could have escalated to the point where the show is shut down. And I don't think that they wanted the event to be shut down. But it makes you speculate. I'm not gonna lie. I was speculating that because they do that in urban events, but this is all the way in Paris. I don't think that was their intentions, but it is a possibility there. There's a possibility there, Bizzle. Shout out to Bizzle. Facts though, it seemed like it was diabolical. All right, now you guys, like I said before, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys are sharing this podcast with your minions, with your friends, with your colleagues. All right, family members, share it with your loved ones. Do me that favor. And I did go on late today. I went on 11 o'clock, but nonetheless, I still went on. So make sure you guys are turning your notification bells on. All right, on whatever social platform you're on. Like I said, we're streaming off of YouTube, we're streaming off of Facebook, and we're streaming off of Twitter. All right, that part. Nonetheless, and we're on Apple Podcasts for the audio, so you guys can listen to the audio. We'll be dropping the audio. I'm probably gonna drop the audio tonight. Like usually. I'm gonna drop the audio. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop that audio tonight. Now, you guys, moving right along. Listen, I want to give a big shout out to YFN Lucci. You guys, YFN Lucci is being released in 3.5 months.